Hello there, this is Todd from the Crossroads Inn, and welcome to another Warcraft lore video. In this video, we'll be going over how powerful Bolvar Fordragon is, both as a human paladin, but mostly as the Lich King. Keep in mind that there will be a lot of logical assumptions here, and also, before watching this, check out our original How Powerful is the Lich King video. Anyway, just sit back and enjoy another tale from the Crossroads. Bolvar Fordragon was a human very skilled in combat who would eventually learn the ways of the Holy Light and become a paladin. It is unknown whether he was a part of the Order of the Silver Hand or not, but he certainly was a great fighter. High Lord Bolvar Fordragon served as the Regent of Stormwind, as well as the Supreme Commander of Stormwind's forces, meaning that apart from Varian Wrynn, he was probably one of the greatest warriors in the Alliance during the times of vanilla World of Warcraft. Fordragon had a lot of faith in light, although was rarely seen using its holy powers in life. When fighting against the Black Dragon Broodmother Onyxia, he held his own against her, as well as slew many of her dragon spawn guards, even though they were much more powerful than a human. During the war against the Lich King, High Lord Bolvar showed extreme skill in combat at the Battle of the Angathar Wrathgate, as he led the charge and with a single hit took down 3 undead, as well as cut many of the Scourge down while mostly being surrounded. When the Undead Forsaken released the Plague of Undeath on both the Horde and the Alliance, Bolvar Fordragon would slowly be killed by it until he was burned by Dragonfire, which alongside the Plague charred his body and imbued him with the Dragon Flames. He would be raised into Undeath in his mutated form, which is where his strong will and faith in the light served him well, as even the Lich King Arthas Menethil himself was unable to bend his soul to his will with Frostmourne and turn him into one of his own Death Knights. Bolvar's faith in the light served him well to resist the Lich King and the powers of Frostmourne. After the death of Arthas Menethil and the destruction of Frostmourne, the Helm of Domination was placed upon Bolvar Fordragon's head, and he became the new jailer of the damned. The helm would give him control over the undead scourge, allowing him to see what they see and control all their actions, as he was linked to them through a psychic connection. At first, Bolvar was unable to take control of all the scourge forces, as he struggled in controlling his new powers, but he slowly grew in power over the years. He was also able to sense a person's soul and see it for what it really was, as he did when telling the spirit of Vol'jin the state of his.
Vol'jin, your soul has walked on the other side and returned. You have been altered, more than you know. You are neither undead nor damned. You do not belong here. Leave this place at once.
If the Helm of Domination was to be put in another's head while the Lich King was still alive, a surging overflow of power would kill the user, unless it was to be a divine being that tried using it. Nonetheless, no one other than the reigning Lich King can use its power. The Helm was also the key that held up the Veil of Azeroth and the Realm of the Dead, known as the Shadowlands, thus balancing reality. During his time as the Lich King, Bolvar was the most powerful necromancer in all of Azeroth, and a master at using death magic, raising undead, and even creating Death Knights. His power and the might of the Undead Scourge flow from the realm of the Shadowlands called Maldraxxus. During most of his rule as the Lich King, he was encased in ice on the Frozen Throne, although kept most of the Scourge in check, as well as aided the Death Knights of the Ebon Blade in crafting some of the legendary artifact weapons, such as the Blades of the Fallen Prince, the Maw of the Damned, and the two-handed sword known as Apocalypse. He also bestowed his powers of the Lich King to the Death Lord to recreate the 4 Horsemen by raising some legendary heroes and villains into undeath and granting them great power in his alliance with the Ebon Blade. Eventually, Bolvar started wearing the Plates of the Damned, which Arthas Menethil wore when he was the Lich King, although without the chest and back armor, as well as the gauntlet on his right arm. Now, the Plates of the Damned were magically enchanted to repair themselves if damaged and were nearly invulnerable, as we can see that Sylvanas' arrows barely did anything to stop Bolvar at first. When Sylvanas arrived to Icecrown, Bolvar let her come to him as none of his undead attacked her, showing his might and confidence in facing anyone who threatened the undead scourge. It seems that Bolvar's charred undead body burns with dragon flames inside him, which was augmented with the Helm of Domination, although if in need of the powers of the Lich King, both his fiery weapon and body would turn blue, just like Arthas' eyes used to be. In his battle with Sylvanas, he displayed huge amounts of strength with his hammer, as she needed to evade him to not get crushed. As the Lich King, he had complete control over ice by either telekinetically throwing it at his enemies or summoning it, just like Arthas Menethil used to do. Control over the cold weather of Northrend was also under his control, as he could summon a storm or blizzard at will and end it whenever he wished. As the Lich King, Bolvar was one of the most powerful beings in all of Azeroth, although was never as powerful as Arthas Menethil when he was the Lich King, due to the Fallen Prince having the cursed runeblade Frostmourne, which took away his soul and took the souls of all who fell before him. The power of all the souls in Frostmourne made a huge difference in power levels when it came to the comparison of the 2 Lich Kings. Even though Bolvar lost the battle against Sylvanas Windrunner, it was only due to her being allied with the Jailer, which was an ancient being that ruled the darkest realm in the Shadowlands, which Sylvanas filled with the souls that were slain in the blood war that she created. If she went against the Lich King Arthas while he was wielding Frostmourne, probably a whole different scenario would have played out, as souls are what give them both power. When the Helm of Domination was broken by Sylvanas, the veil between Azeroth and the Shadowlands broke, and Bolvar's position as the Lich King came to an end, leaving him with a fraction of his powers that he once wielded, although he was most likely still very powerful compared to most, and capable of creating new Death Knights. Anyway guys, this is it on the video, and we hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe. If you're interested in Warcraft, Lord of the Rings / Hobbit, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Witcher, and other fantasy franchise-based lore, stay tuned for more videos like this one. If you're by any chance into LEGO reviews and Star Wars lore videos, check out our main channel, The Scoundrels Cantina. The link for it will be down below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, no matter how lost you are, the Innkeeper will always show you the path. See you in another video.